My name's Cameron Hepburn. I'm the Battcock Professor of Environmental Economics at the Smith School of Enterprise and the Environment. I don't exactly love plastics, but plastics are very useful. And we've done quite a lot of research here at Oxford, joint with the chemistry department and with the Faculty of Law, about how to design a circular plastic system that is fit for an economy going to net zero emissions. People hate plastics with good reason. They do an enormous amount of environmental damage, local damage in terms of the pollution they cause in marine ecosystems, in terrestrial ecosystems, and actually they emit 1 billion tonnes, or more than 1 billion tonnes of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere every year, which is obviously one of the greenhouse gases. The thing about plastics is they are extraordinarily useful. We use them in almost everything. In the screen that you're using to watch this video, in your laptop, we use them in health and in medical industries, we use them in food preservation, and even in the clean energy industries of the future, in wind turbines, in electric vehicles. Currently, we recycle only 9% of the plastics that we produce, which is pretty dismally low. That's because actually it's sometimes quite difficult to recycle what are low-value materials and get some sensible economic use out of them. So what happens to the other 91% of plastics? Well, either they go up in smoke, literally incinerated, or they end up as pollution in the natural environment. So neither of those scenarios is a good one. We have to radically increase the amount of plastics we recycle. But we also have to be realistic about just how much we're going to be able to recycle. And what we're suggesting in recent research that was published in Nature is that we need to redesign the plastic system so that the plastics that we use, even if, or realistically perhaps when, they go back to the natural world, they don't do damage. We've got to do 4 big things to reduce the impact of plastics on the environment. The first thing is to cut out demand. We use an awful lot of plastics, they're very useful, but not all the plastics that we use, we really have to use. We think in a bold change of the system, we could cut demand by as much as 50%. The next thing we need to do is to think about the plastic system as a whole. Think about where and what sort of inputs we're using to produce those plastics. For the most part today, it's petrochemicals, so it's the oil and gas industry. But we could be producing our plastics from natural feedstocks, from biological feedstocks, from plants and from trees. The third thing we need to do is to radically increase our recycling rate. It's 9% at the moment, it needs to go to above 90%. And the fourth and last thing we need to do is to make sure that the plastics that we do produce don't have toxic additives in them, so that we can design them so that for those that don't get captured and recycled, when they degrade and go back to nature, they go back in a safe way.